Salve, discipuli. Okay, as I mentioned in class at the end of the day Friday, we are going to be having a quiz on Monday, and this video will show you what the quiz is going to be like. It will also give you some practice, and we will go over the practice it gives you before we take the quiz on Monday. So, without further ado, alright, we're going to start with some vocab words. Femina, femini, you all know that means, that's right, woman. We're weary, you all know that means man. Okay. Dux ducus, you all know that means leader. Okay, I've given you one first declension noun, one second declension noun, and one third declension noun. You can tell from the I, E, S. Okay, first, second, and third declension. Over here, I've given you the bases. All right, in other words, the sort of root part of the word that you use before you add an ending to show case. So femin is the root here. We're is the nominative singular form, but the actual base is we're. Okay, so you would add things to we're to create accusative, genitive, etc. Similarly, dux is the nominative singular form, but the base to which you add endings is duc. Okay, you add endings to that to make the ablative, dative, etc. All right. Then we have one verb, amo, amare, amawi, amatum, which we all know means, that's right, love. Now, the present active participle, amans, this is your nominative singular form. This is how you say one nominative thing, loving. The base for the present active participle is amant. You have this am, ant, then you add third declension endings to this. Okay? Third declension endings to the present active participle to make it work. Alright? The perfect passive participle, which comes from the fourth principal part, has a stem, a stem, of amat. Okay? And then you add to that first and second declension endings. Okay, like amatus, amato, amatum, amatarum. Then the future active participle. You go to the amatum part, you add a ur, that's your stem, and you're going to add, you guessed it, first and second declension endings to that. So us, e, o, the same business we added to the perfect passive participle. So loving, third declension endings, having been loved, first and second declension, about to love, first and second declension. All right, so what are we going to do with those? You've got all your bases and stems over here. Then you're going to get something like this, loving woman. Okay, this is loving women, excuse me. So these are women who are loving. That's the idea. We're going to put it in the accusative, and notice it's women, so it's going to be plural. So we've got to find our word for women. All right, here's our base, femin. Then we have to put an accusative plural ending on it. Well, this is a first declension pattern, so we end up with feminas. All right. Then we go to the word loving. Okay, amans, amantis. Oh my gosh, it takes third declension endings. So we've got to create loving in the accusative plural feminine to agree with feminas, but it has to have third declension endings. So I put in my base, amant, then I think of my third declension, feminine, accusative plural. Oh, that's the same as the third declension, masculine accusative plural, ace. And we end up with feminas amantes. These are women loving. Now they could be loving something else, or they could just be loving women. All right, sweet, kind, thoughtful, loving women. Okay, so feminas amantes. Number 2, I'll do number 2 with you, then I'll let you guys do the rest. So, leader having been loved. We need this in the genitive. So here's our word for leader. Here's the base, right? We need the genitive. It's singular. It's just leader. So hey, boom, right there. That is your genitive singular. The is the genitive singular for the third declension. Boom. having been loved. That's amata sa'um, but that follows first and second declension patterns, not the third declension we have down here. So the endings are going to be different. All right, so we start with the base, amat. All right, now a leader is masculine, so we want to choose second declension endings instead of first, because first is used for feminine, second is used for masculine. So I'm thinking of my second declension chart, second declension masculine, and I'm finding the genitive singular. That would be amati. So dukas amati, of the leader having been loved. All right? Hopefully that gives you enough to get started. I've given you 3, 4, 5, 6, and believe it or not, 7. So what I highly recommend for you is you work on 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then review your first, second, and third declension charts. This is all you have to do. You'll notice I'm not asking you for any neuters. Okay, so I'm not asking for neuters, so you don't even need to review those charts. I just want us to have the masculine and feminine down solid for Monday. When you take this quiz on Monday, you will get something just like this. The difference is I will not remind you what declension these follow. Athena, come here. Come here. Be good. Come here. See, Athena's excited about the quiz. So I will not, on the quiz, show you what declension these participles follow. That's something you have to have memorized. Present active is third declension. Perfect passive is first and second. Future active is first and second. I recommend you prepare these. We'll look at them together before we take the quiz. While later.